Let's go.
Hello and welcome to the show.
PJs.
Today we are here to build a better monster killing
Big
machine
mood.
and to preview what we have been calling behind the scenes Armor 2.0. This fall, when Shadowkeep launches on October 1st, you're going to have a whole new set of building blocks that you can use to build the ideal Guardian, whatever you think ideal is, depending on your fighting style. And today we're going to take a look at that process, give you a preview of just some of the options, and who better to build the ideal Guardian than some of the developers who have been working on these new in-game systems. I'm Deej, I will be your host, but I'm going to invite the talented people who make the games that we want to play, and we hope you do as well, to introduce themselves and to kick off the conversation. Morning.
Hi, I'm Rodney Thompson, and I am the feature lead for Armor 2.0.
Ooh.
If it's still quiet, I will turn it up more.
I'm making a Titan.
But like, I'm looking at the levels and I see where they're at, so I recommend
I'm
turning it up.
designer, and today I will be building a Warlock that suits my personal tastes.
Hi, Tomo Kinoshita. I'm the combat area lead. And anyone that knows me knows that I love Hunter, so that's what I'm doing today.
All right, fantastic. So why don't we join their Guardians who are now live in the tower. Today what we're going to do is slightly contrived. I will admit that right up front. We are using a build in the development environment. Obviously, it is not October 1st, so we're showing you the game in the environment where we are testing the game right now. And if you are playing Solstice of Heroes, and if you're acquiring your fabulous dress uniforms, you may know that the armor that you are acquiring and adding glow to will become Armor 2.0 on October 1st with our fall releases. So let's take a look at these three players, fully dressed in the Solstice of Heroes gear sets, and let's pretend that it is this fall. These players have been playing Destiny, they've been earning the mods, they've been earning the materials that they need to upgrade those mods, and let's step through that process. Rodney, what's the first step in taking Solstice of Heroes armor and turning it into Armor 2.0?
Yeah, so if you earned the Legendary set, you can, once Shadowkeep drops, you'll be able to come over here, talk to our friendly neighborhood gunsmith, and Gunsmith is going to have an upgrade package for you that you'll be able to grab, and when you do,
Nice.
you're going to get your full
Wait,
Armor
they have
2.0
250,000
set
Glimmer.
of Solstice gear. So, crack that open.
I see
Take a
you.
look.
So at a glance, talk to us about what are some of the first changes that we can observe, even at this level of the character inspection screen for Armor 2.0.
Sure. Yeah, so one of the first things you'll notice is that with the introduction of Armor 2.0, we're also reintroducing Intelligence, Discipline, and Strength, the three stats from the first Destiny game that will now sit alongside Mobility, Resilience, and Recovery, from the stats from Destiny 2. And those stats now, instead of scaling from 1 to 10, will actually scale from 0
You
up
see your
to 100.
Sparrow too is awesome.
And if you tooltip over them, you can see we've added some information about what each of these stats does and shows you where you're at on that 0 to 100 scale. So for example, mobility, one of the things it does is it increases your base speed, and each of the stats has breakpoints at every 10 points of stats, so 10, 20, 30, and once you cross that breakpoint, cross that threshold, you enter a new tier. And so once you're in a tier, that's when you gain the benefits of that, the increased benefits of that tier. So for example, right now you can see mobility for my character. I've got 30 mobility that puts me at tier 3, which gives me the 12% base speed increase. And you can see resilience is giving you extra shield capacity.
Season rank,
Recovery
power.
helps
There's
you
no
recover
level
more
anymore.
quickly from when you get damaged. Your discipline is going to govern your grenade recharge rate. So the higher your discipline, the faster your grenade will recharge. Your intellect will increase your super ability or decrease your super ability cooldown time. and your strength will decrease your melee ability cooldown time. So basically, these 6 stats are the first thing that you'll notice on the character screen. And you're getting these stats from the armor itself. So each set of armor is going to have some number of points in each of the 6 stats. And they all combine together to give you your total. And of course the class item doesn't have any stats on it. But these basically will combine together to give you your total. And so what you're going to be doing is you're going to be collecting armor, finding
That's a
the
lot
right
of
combination
stats.
of stats for the build that you want to make, and then putting those pieces together to help create your particular build.
Great introductory summary. I hope people collected all of that detail, because I can tell you that right now in chat, I'm seeing people observing the fact that my ghost is over my shoulder and my sparrow is right behind me. So yes, you can observe your ride and how well it pairs with your armor. We're investing a lot more in your personal vanity, your personal creative expression of what your hero is. So yeah, you can see your ghost, you can see your vehicle, you can see all of your armor and how it pairs well together into the ultimate fighting style. And yes, confirmed, Glimmer Cap has been raised to 250,000.
Yes.
So
Yeah!
there's a lot to love. Our user interface team has thrown a lot of love at this screen, and there's a lot of things that people can pick through and enjoy about the hero that they are nurturing. So why don't you take us through the process? We want you to build a Titan that is ideal for you.
Right.
We will
But not a
see
Warlock,
one
only
way
Titans.
to build a Titan, and of
is
course
the Titan
there will
expansion.
be many, many permutations. Things that we are talking about today. Venom in our mixer chat said, I hope this reveal is not too revealing, and that's always kind of the game. That's the double-edged sword. We want to give you some excitement about what awaits you this fall, but we also want to make sure that there are some things that you get to experience for the first time in the game.
Perfect.
So we're going to show you some of the building blocks. We're
'Cause I
gonna show
completely
you the
agree with that
process
statement.
that you can use to pair those
hate knowing
together
too much.
to invent new fighting styles for yourself. We are not going to be talking too much about finishing moves or the artifact or the additional perks in there. We're going to take a look at armor customization today. That's the theme for this stream, and I'll be calling out some other moments in the very near future where we'll be elaborating on some of these topics. Enough from me. Let's go back to you. Let's go to your workbench, and let's see how your Titan is going to live and breathe and fight.
Yeah, so one of the things you said was that we're trying to focus more on letting you make the decisions to build your character the way you want to look and the way you want to play, right? And so everyone's going to have a different method of deciding what is the right thing
Banshee
for them to do to
chiming
make
in
the
here
character.
again.
So for me, I like to start with a pretty straightforward concept of how do I want to play in the fire team with these other two. So I want to play a support character. That's what I play. I like to play healers and defenders and people that basically buff up my allies. So I've decided that what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a support character. I'm going to play a Titan using Ward of Dawn as my super.
Okay.
I've picked Lumina as my exotic hand cannon, and then I also have Tatara Gaze and an Avalanche, so that basically I'm covering all 3 of my damage types there. And so since I'm going to be using these weapons and I'm going to be building a support character, I'm going to really focus on trying to keep my melee up pretty often so I can give out overshields to people. I want to keep my class ability up because I'm also going to use the Crest of Alphalupi here.
Okay.
And so that's
Armor
the
2.0
sort of
exotic.
core that I'm going to be building around. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to pick my mods based around that. So
we just saw you acquire your Solstice of Heroes armor from the gunsmith. How does one acquire an exotic 2.0?
Sure. So exotic items are all converted over to Armor 2.0 so that when they drop in the world, they will be Armor 2.0ified.
Yeah.
That's a word, by the way. But also, we've gone in and we've changed over all of the exotics in your collections so that if you've already collected a particular exotic, you'll be able to pull it out of your collections as an Armor 2.0 piece.
Cool.
It'll have a fixed roll, so you'll still want to go out there and find drops that have a different roll that suit your character,
Yes.
but you'll be able to get a version of it out of your collections.
So on October 1st, my stag, my helmet, my
Yes.
coat rack, my beloved coat rack helmet will be waiting for me in
Yes.
collections as Stag 2.0.
That is correct, yes.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So now that I've sort of got my basic theme and I picked out my exotics, I'm going to go in and I'm going to start modifying my gear. And so one of the first things you'll notice is that the randomized perks are gone and instead have been replaced by armor energy and armor mods. So we have 3 mod sockets down below, and we have energy up on the top. And so
It's void
let's talk
energy
about that a
too.
little
Is
bit.
there like
Basically,
elemental
each,
mods?
type of armor will have an
Enhancement
energy type
cores?
and an energy amount. This number goes from 1 to 10, and this number can be upgraded. So basically, the energy amount tells you how many mods of which energy cost can be socketed in. So just a quick look down here, we can see that, for example, the Paragon mod costs 4 energy. The Void Resistance mod costs 1 Void energy. So Void mods can only be
Interesting.
socketed into Void armors. Anything that requires
Makes sense.
any energy can go into any armor piece.
You have a budget to spend now.
Yeah, exactly. So,
But your budget is not maximized there. You
it
have
is not
5
yet.
out of 10.
Yes, and so what I'm going to do is just to sort of show you how this works. Basically, I know that I'm going to be using my sniper rifle a lot.
Interesting.
Because I want to get, that super energy because I'm going to socket in another mod from that. So basically, when I go down here, I can look at my mods. I can see some of them are grayed out. That means I don't have enough energy to socket those in. If I move my cursor over it, you can see that the energy bars start to fill up and flash up there saying, hey, this is how much energy this mod is going to consume.
Yeah.
If I move my cursor over one of the mods that I don't have enough energy for, you can see it turns red and it shows me, hey, there's 1 energy bar there that we'd still need to be able to socket this in. So I want to make sure I've got this enhanced sniper rifle targeting because I don't want to look bad on the stream when I miss a headshot. So
No one wants
I'm
to
going to go ahead and upgrade here. And so now I've upgraded a few and I've got enough energy for it, so I can go ahead and socket this in. So now I've got enhanced sniper rifle targeting right there waiting on me. And it's also worth noting that mod didn't go away, right?
Unlocks are the future.
Yes, all
Okay.
armor mods are unlocks. So once you've acquired it
All
once,
armor
it
mods
has been
are
unlocked
unlocks.
forever. It can be socketed into as many pieces of armor as you want, unsocketed, whatever, like however you want to do it. We thought this was important because we want you to experiment with your mods and experiment with your builds and be able to swap things out. So basically,
That's
once you've got
fucking
it,
rad.
you've got it forever.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And then as you unlock these different masterwork tiers, we can see that there are some new materials. There are some new economies in play here. We've seen, look at this, Ascendant Shards.
Yes. Yeah, so we do have some new materials that are going to be required to upgrade these that will be available from various reward sites throughout the game. And then once you finally upgrade your armor to its top tier, one of the things you'll be able to notice
That's
it's a little difficult to
familiar.
see right now. Here, I'm gonna move, there we go. Is that each of my stat bars shows an increase there. You can see the green on the side of the stat bars.
Yeah.
That's because when you upgrade an armor to its full masterwork level, it actually gives you +2 to every stat all the way down the line. So basically, that's the benefit you get in addition to being able to put in more mods into your armor.
Sure. Now, the topic of enhancement cores, masterwork cores, acquiring these things has been a very loud topic of conversation.
Yeah,
in our
but I have,
community.
like,
dismantle something in your inventory.
have so
and cross
many.
Your
Just
fingers,
do
or
your
complete
guns
a
with
bounty
bounties,
have been
chat.
some of the
Please
best
do them.
paths to earning those things. I'm told, and I'd like for you to confirm for me again, there are multiple different sources for these materials. So
Okay.
if you find yourself wanting, if you find yourself going and doing way too much business with the spider, we have new pathways that you
If
can
the
travel
spider
to
has
earn
you on a
those
first
things.
name
Yeah, there's gonna be
basis,
new ways
this
to get
is
them,
for
and there's
you.
also going to be ways that you can sort of upgrade into the more advanced advanced materials as well. So yeah, we hope that it's going to be a process where you sort of see, okay, here's what I need to do to get the things that I need to upgrade my armor.
Yeah. And we'll be talking about this a little bit more actually when we are in Germany for Gamescom. We'll be talking a little bit more about how the Nightfall will play a role in your acquisition of these materials. And then later on we'll talk about seasonal progression being a way that you can acquire these materials. But we do not want this to be a famine. We want you to get out and play Destiny and earn the things that you need so that you can have fun building your character and customizing it so it's really an extension of the way you like to play. But anyway, while I try to diffuse the controversy along the way, please continue down the path.
Sure.
And show us what you
I
got.
don't think so, Boboiz, because it's getting
I've already got
redone.
my enhanced sniper rifle
Like,
targeting
masterworking
in,
is
and
now
I
a
wanna
part of
go
the
ahead
upgrade
and make sure I've got
process
plenty of ammo
of
for this.
adding
So one of the
more
things we've done
mods.
is we've broken out
So,
the ammo finders
okay.
into specific weapon ammo finders. So I'm going to be going in here and getting my sniper rifle ammo finder. We've also made sure that the ammo finders, they not only work a little bit more reliably, but they also show you that they are working a little bit more visibly. And hopefully when we get into the actual gameplay, we'll be able to show off exactly what that looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and socket that in. So I got one leftover energy. I've got one open socket over here, so you can see that, hey, a lot of these are grayed out, but I've got some choices down here. I can get void resistance, minor resist, or major resist. I think for this one, I'm going to put in major resist, just because I'm
taking so many pictures, Chad.
And yeah, so that's my helmet. And so now I'm going to go over here and start working on my gauntlets. So let's see here. I think I'm going to be using my Lumina a lot to buff people. So I think, and that's my primary. So I think I'm going to go with enhanced hand cannon loader. Put in there. I need to upgrade my armor a little bit.
I'm also trying to
here.
live tweet, chat. I am paying attention.
So
I'm trying to do
my
both.
Full energy amounts there. Get my full masterwork. Let's see here. I could also do sniper rifle loader. I'm not going to be using my grenade that much, so I don't think that one's going to benefit me too much. I don't have anything for my machine gun right now, so I think actually what I'm going to do is go with my large weapon loader here so that I've got something for my machine gun. So my hand cannon and my machine gun, I'm going to have a pretty good reload rate. I've used up all my energy, so nothing in my general socket for this one.
It's interesting how you're letting people really double down on the things that are important to them with some expensive mods, but if you want to diversify a little bit more, you can pick some of the cheaper options and have different skills across the spectrum.
And it's worth noting in this particular one right here, I picked an enhanced mod and then I picked a broadly useful mods, and those are pretty expensive. If I instead was to pick something more specific, like my sniper rifle loader, it's a little bit more on the expensive side because there are both special and heavy sniper rifles, and also the reload time on a sniper rifle is really, really important.
Sniper rifle.
If I was just using regular hand cannon loader, I would be able to afford more mods. So basically,
this is awesome. So basically, I don't.
How important it is to you, and it could be that based on the perks that you have on your particular hand cannon, that
so like once you acquire a really good roll
it's gonna be
of an armor piece, you can swap out anything that you want, and you don't have to like have 15 million different armors for everything. I like that. I'm sure collectors may not like that because of like having a large variety of things.
So I'm going to go
but
ahead
like,
and crank this up.
While you do that,
it's easier to keep track of.
Our Twitch chat,
I can just hot swap what I'm doing.
Do we have to acquire these mods before we can use them?
Yes.
Yes. And how?
Okay.
Where will these mods be found? How can players expect to be acquiring these?
Yeah. So the mods will actually drop from about 3 different sources. You'll be able to get them from the gunsmith. He will both sell mods on a rotating basis, so basically they'll rotate through and you can just buy them from him. You can also get them from gunsmith packages. So like if you get the gunsmith engram, sometimes it will include a mod.
Sounds like I'm happy I saved my weapon parts.
Just world engrams, and then also some of the mods, like the enhanced mods, will come from engrams that you'll get from Iron Banner and the Raid and other Pinnacle sources. So basically, like they're grouped into big chunks there. So that's where you'll be able to go get them.
Yeah. A lot less guesswork. People know what to do. People know where to go.
All right. So because I'm going to be using a sniper rifle, I want to make sure I've got plenty of reserves there. And I think also in this case, I want.
So far, it's been like helmet had like finder perks and targeting perks.
Because I think that
hands was reloader.
So that's eating up a lot of my budget, but again, I got one left.
I forget what the other one was. I'll have to go back and look. And then chest piece seems to be.
And that is my chest piece. Now when we start getting into
is it unflinching and
the boots here?
Reserves.
I definitely have to make sure that I'm picking up plenty.
And then
of
boots are going to have
ammo,
scavenger.
So I'll grab
Okay.
my sniper rifle scavenger. And I think
I can run. So you can run 2 scavenger perks if you like have, if you run out of SMG ammo or something like that.
So it seems like there are some themes to the types of impact that different types of gear have on your build, right? Like
that's a good point. You can masterwork exotic armor now. That's a solid thing that we kind of glossed over.
Yes, absolutely. So one of the things we do is we make sure that
it costs 3 ascendant shards, though. I noticed that.
Are armor piece specific. Like these are the leg armor mods. There are certain mechanics that are only found in there. So all of the scavenger mods are down here as well. Plus, like, traction is on the boots. If you look at like the chest, basically that's where the capacity and the unflinching ones are mods are. And this is similar to how things are distributed in the perks right now and the random armor in the game right now. But we've just sort of doubled down on making it so that they have a very clear, like, hey, these are boot mods, these are chest mods, etc. The one thing that is nice, though, is that because these two slots are they're both just leg armor slots, you can have a scavenger mod and a scavenger mod, where you couldn't have that before. Right?
That's really nice.
Have two scavenger mods. You couldn't have.
Granted, I don't know how the primary
mods,
ammo
right?
economy is going to work, where it's
I
necessary,
have
but it's still interesting.
unflinching sniper rifle and unflinching hand cannon if I wanted to, right? And so, like, you have a little bit more flexibility in how you like what kinds of mechanics you have access to at any given time. So I'm gonna keep going here, sniper rifle, scavenger, and I think traction, and that leaves me with 4 left over. Ooh. So since I've got 4 left over, I think what I actually want to do is I'm not gonna use all my energy, but I'll increase my strength because I'm gonna want to give overshields to these guys. So I want to make sure I keep my melee up pretty often.
Okay.
So now getting down here into my last piece, my class item, this is where I want to make sure that I put in my remote connection. This is how I'm going to get my super energy in order to cast Ward of Dawn.
So the mark is going to have
sniper rifle kills.
Okay.
I've already invested a lot into my sniper rifle perks so far.
So the mark is going to have the one that generates super energy based on fucking... I feel like this is on their end.
Is with this 5 left over, I'm going to go ahead and put in intellect mod to get my super coming back faster.
Okay.
So majestic.
Yes.
So your class item is going to have remote connection, light reactor, stuff like that, and then your typical ones like bomber, absolution, and things like that. Why?
Armor. And one of the things people can see is that the mods that I've
check Steam. It's not Steam. I'm telling you. I already have it turned off. I promise you, it's not that.
The UI team
it's
did
definitely
a great job
Twitch
of coming in and making sure that the tooltips reflect the changes in Armor 2.0. You can see an armor's energy type, its energy amount. You can see its stats. You can see the fact that it has fully masterwork stats. I didn't call it out, but one of the things you might have noticed is that the intellect mod. Well, you won't be able to see it on this one actually, but let me go back to the legs. Sorry. Yeah. So the
double special weapon scavenger perks now. You can.
When
you can run them both on the same armor slot.
Over it, the stat bars actually change, so I can see like, hey, this is going to add to the strength of this item. So it adds.
Oh wow, that's a lot. I'm in the way, but
so you can see exactly what your strength.
It added a lot of strength. Like it added like double the amount. Come on, Twitch. Why? Twitch!
That mod in there.
Yeah, you get a nice preview for your mod shopping needs.
Yeah, so now I've got all my mechanics in place, but I think the last and occasionally
you load the page. I'm doing it.
Part of it.
I'm F5ing. Since we're in between stuff. Oh, ornaments!
Shift for us.
It is.
Playing the tactical game, building the perfect tactical guardian meant that your style choices took a back seat. You could apply some shaders and try to get yourself closer to how you want to look, but now when you look at a guardian at a glance, you're not necessarily going to know how they fight.
Wait, can you do the ornament and the glow at the same time?
What we don't do is we don't overwrite the exotics, right? So you're always going to be able to recognize the exotic that someone's wearing. But yeah, you'll be able to change.
Twitch! Not now!
We felt like it's important because like people want to, play the way they want to play. They want to look the way they want to look, and I feel like they should be able to do both of those things without a lot of friction. So we're starting this off. This is the first steps in that direction. But we're starting it off with the universal ornaments, which you can see I put on my fancy bighorn helmet here, and like this looks okay, right? But that blue and that gold clash. I think I got to start applying some shaders here. Right? Yeah.
I'm gonna Twitch. Why?
And I'm a big fan of this New Age black armor.
Is that your favorite too?
Well, it's one of them. It looks so darn good on this Solstice set, and Yeah, I'm gonna
look
go
at
ahead
that.
and look at that. That red
Lovely
and that gold is
gold.
just.
Now the loop by gold tone goes with it.
Yeah.
Very stylish. Very fashionable.
Listen, I may have made some choices based on cosmetics here.
I really want him to go over the other slot, and I want to see if you can combine
Absolutely
both.
Correct. And now the other thing I like about the solstice one here is that oh, I don't have any armor glows. Oh well. Yeah, I think I'm going to stick with this right here. So yeah, that is my. Look at that. Right, beautiful, magnificent Titan there.
Now, if you have achieved the glow in Solstice of Heroes, we don't have that in this development build, but we do want to call out that you would be able to apply that glow to this Guardian. So those are things that you get to bring forward with you into the third year.
But can I combine them?
You get to be as fabulous as your heart desires.
Look at that majesty.
That's not specific enough.
Majestic.
Because that could just be him wearing the glows, which are there.
Nah, I'm good.
You're ready to go. All right,
but
so
I want to combine them with the ornament.
Picking a strike that we're going to play once all of our Guardians are sorted. Lisa and Tomo have been doing a little bit of the busy work behind the scenes, some of the master working and upgrading. So now we can just get to building. Lisa, a warlock after my own heart.
That's true.
But how do you like to fight?
So,
how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling extremely lazy today.
Double special.
I wore my pajamas to work. So I'm going to focus my build around the Getaway Artist exotic, which is an exotic where a Stormcaller can consume their grenade to get an Arc Soul that, not just any Arc Soul, a sentient Arc Soul, which is like Arc Soul times 1,000. So I'm really going to rely on it doing a lot of the work. So Arc Souls, they're pretty good at getting grenade energy back, but I want to make absolute sure that I have that grenade up as often as possible, so I can have my arc.
Try the YouTube stream. I don't think you understand what I can do here on Twitch.
It a little bit differently
I like
than
keeping my
I'm
channel, Flossie.
Start out by going through every one of my armors and putting in the discipline mod, which reduces my grenade cooldown, because that's sort of the core of this build, is having that arc buddy up. So I'm just gonna pre-slot everything, so that way I know like how much I have to work with left over.
Oh my god! Lower the frame rate. Trust me, chat. It's just Twitch. It's not my internet. It's not my internet. It's just Twitch fucking up. Like I can't control it by changing any of the settings.
I want to point out that
dropping things to like below source like at 720 is not gonna just make it magically better.
System doesn't let you waste your mods. It doesn't let you build. It doesn't let you build Guardians that.
I wish it was on my end.
Well combined.
Yeah.
It's on my end too.
Like
it's almost like it's intermittent and it's not the same for everybody. But I promise you, it's not my internet. 100% because other people are having the problem.
Yes. So now I am at tier 9 of discipline. So I get my grenade back in 37 seconds, pretty quick. So now that I have that, because my arc buddy is doing most of the work, I'm going to do something a little crazy and run double special weapons. So I'm going to run Arbalist in my primary.
Okay.
And another fusion rifle in my secondary. Or kinetic. Yes, kinetic and second. You know, the terms, they got all confused. My 2 slots, I'm using 2 special ammo. So that means I really have to
do a
lot to focus on ammo. For those 2, since I will be running dry. So for my other 2 slots, I'm going to focus on, I've got fusion rifle ammo finder and linear fusion rifle ammo finder, because this is going to be what generates most of my ammo.
So you can run both?
I'm going to be running low. For my gloves, let's see what we've got. So you'll notice like the energy types, they're different, and depending on the energy type, that controls what mods are available. So it's only showing me the ones that can go in this armor, stuff with no energy type requirement or stuff with arc energy type requirement.
Interesting.
So let's see here. I'm not going to be
so impact
really
induction
using grenades because I'm going to be
would be for arc
them,
energy. Okay.
But I might do this one, which
I need like a list
is
of all the
gives some great
energy
for melee
specific
attack.
mods. Oh my god. So you're definitely going to have different armor pieces, if only for the fact that you want to have an arc set, a solar set, and then a void set.
So, you know, just anything to get that grenade.
Arc, shotgun, machine gun? No,
what
those
else
are just ones they have unlocked right now, because they also have other
let's see,
things too.
I have a machine gun in my heavy slot, so I'll give
But
something.
it could be,
I'll give something
like
to
there's
that.
also bow there too.
Yeah, so we'll do that.
So I don't know.
Just to fill it out. Let's see.
Isn't it back there's one for
And
arc grenades
for
though? No, no, no. It's just for
rogues,
the, so
I'm
the
going to,
armor has
again,
a specific
do
element
reserves
type,
because
which
running
dictates
to special ammo
what
weapons means
type of mods you
on
can
ammo
slot in.
mods. For my legs.
I think they'll have comms. Yeah, there are. So you can see them right there. There's
Again,
some that
I'm
have the
just going
solar
to do
element and some that are
scavengers.
just
So I got
normal.
scavenger,
So there's
reserve, and
normal
finder
mods
all
and there's
for
solar mods
my two
that you
weapons,
have to
so
have
that I
that
will
type of
stay
energy for.
Healthy and full of ammo. For my class slot, let's do enhanced bomber.
Just
you
your
know,
end.
another way to get more grenade energy back.
don't know how to say this any more
And
plainly.
what else have we
It's
got
almost
here?
like there can be a problem
Oh,
that's
yeah.
on
Oh, yeah,
Twitch that
obviously,
affects
light reactor,
people
because-
differently.
So because I'm putting all this,
I promise
these
you
stats
it's nothing
into
I can
discipline,
control.
My intellect is running a little low, so this will help me keep my super energy up in spite of that, using light reactor for my fusion rifle.
Like, it's not like I'm downloading porn
Alright,
in the
so
fucking
now
background, my guy.
I'm all kitted out. Another thing I want to show is when you hold down left trigger to compare your armor now, you get a nice little flyout window that gives you the full descriptions of all your mods and perks, which is handy for a quick glance, so you don't have to go into the actual item to read it.
That's really cool.
So that's a nice quality of life thing from the UI folks. All right, so got my lazy warlock. Let's make look beautiful. So Rodney kind of sped through this, but we basically separated all the cosmetics into their own screen. So when you're in the inspection
You had to
screen,
farm
press
every
down on the
one armor
D-pad
set for every
to bring
element.
up,
I feel
all
like that's
the
what's going to end
cosmetic
up
stuff.
happening.
So I don't really know exactly what.
So you got more stuff?
So I'm just gonna shop around a little bit. Let's see. What do I like? What do I like? We'll do this one. Put a nice shader on it. Got lots of shaders. I'm a purple fan. Let's see. No, I'm just gonna browse around. See, Rodney knew exactly what he wanted.
I did.
I have to shop around a little bit. So I'm gonna do this nice purple helmet. For my getaway artist, I'm going to equip the ornament because this also has a nice purple theme already
That
going
it does.
on, and some gold that'll match
Do I have? I
my
think I have that one. I just don't use getaway artists very
robes.
often.
Let's see here. These I think I'm gonna keep these robes.
It looks like
change
I'm
the
gonna knock
color.
on wood. That it stop freezing.
Ooh,
Wow.
yeah,
Yeah,
that looks
neat.
nice. Let's do that.
I pray to Papa Deej.
Pretty styling.
Papa Deej, keep the
Some
stream safe.
legs.
Hands up.
I do have my armor glows from Solstice, so I'm gonna put those on. It's it's subtle. It's not too flashy. I don't like to be too flashy with my.
Yeah, you're not a hunter.
glows. I'm not a
There's
hunter.
some dignity here.
Hey.
Anyway,
You get your turn in a minute.
we'll put some red on there to like bring out the other colors and the other shaders. I'm the sort of person who I don't necessarily just pick one shader and put it down the line. I like to mix and match.
This is designed by a committee of thousands, by the way. Phil the Deal
Yes.
in our Mixer chat says this actually looks really good.
Yeah.
So
And I know it's faux pas to have void armor glow when I'm actually running an art class, but it looks fabulous, so I'm doing it.
It really does.
Yeah.
Does it?
All right, so there we go. Nice.
It's not too bad.
I'm pretty happy with that.
Looking good.
fantastic. I am taking
So?
notes because I too like my Arc Helper buddy right
Yes.
over my shoulder.
Yeah. All right, I think I'm ready. I think it's time for Toma.
All right, it's Hunter time. Tomo.
Yes. So everyone else started off by showing off some of their gear. I actually want to step in real quick to my subclass choice because this actually might be a little new for what people are playing out in the wild right now. And so I've already selected it, but as you can see, I'm actually going bottom path.
Bottom
Void
tree,
Hunter.
huh?
And I know top path and middle path are the most popular options right now.
Are you gonna go for
And
invis
so the
with
Sandbox team
strength?
actually did an update to the Void subclasses, gave them a little bit of love. And so I kind of want to show it off a little bit here. Show that the bottom path actually is viable now. And so I'm just going to quickly hover over these things. I won't go into too much detail. You guys can screen cap it or whatever you want out there as you're watching the streams. But the main thing is, like, there's a really cool synergy now between the smoke bomb that the hunter has as well as the grenade.
Oh, it gives heart of the pack
now. Those two things
now.
kind of tie back and forth into, if I can throw my smoke bomb down, and with the bottom path, as many hunters know, it actually makes you and your allies invisible. So I'll be doing that often in this stream, but that actually recharges my grenade energy. And then when I have my grenade up and I throw that on an enemy and it starts to tick the enemy with damage, it actually increases my melee energy charge. So
nice.
I'm actually able to kind of create this cycle of feeding those two things back into each other.
And very opposing aesthetics between a warlock that is consuming grenades to have a helper buddy and a hunter that just wants to throw them everywhere so that they can disappear and wreak havoc.
I'm going into the back lines of the enemy team, and you guys are going to be the ones that are going to have to help me get out of it. Worst case, I'll just make myself invisible.
I've got Lumina. You'll be fine.
Exactly.
You'll be fine.
Exactly. And so then I'm also going to try something a little unique here when it comes to my weapon loadout. And so in my kinetic slot here, I'm actually going with the shotgun. And then also in my heavy slot, I'm going with the shotgun.
Beautiful.
And the reason for this is with the Solstice gear, the hunter will automatically
not running 3
energy,
shotguns. What a
Arc
pleb.
actually has an affinity with shotguns, and so this actually ties those two things in really well. And so that's my hope.
Did the Acreus get
it works out?
Does that look different to you?
I'll start off with the helmet like everyone else. I've already, like Deej said, I already went through and masterworked all of them. So
like it looked darker.
There. So first things first, like I said, we're going to be doing shotgun
So
stuff.
mine just got, the icon probably just got updated. Yeah, the different thumbnail images.
And that works with Acreus as well as the
it does.
specials?
Yep.
Nice.
So we're going to see how well this works. And then let's give some love to the hand cannon. And so I'm going to do some precision weapon targeting. And then I got some points left over, and so I can come in here again, and like you guys are doing, figure out what I want to slot in here. Some of these I can't afford, but luckily I can do this. We're going to be doing a strike later, so this will help us melt the boss more quickly.
Boss resist.
And it's also nice because your build is focusing on the energy regain. That means you might not need to spend as many mods for your energy regain, so you can spend those on something else instead.
Yep. So let's keep doing more shotgun stuff.
Shotgun.
Yeah.
And
then I probably want something with my grenade.
Yeah, you're the only one who's actually going to be using the
And then that actually maxed it out, so I'm going to leave this slot empty. And for my exotic, I'm going with the 6 Coyote, and so this again gives me a second dodge. And if you remember, back in my subclass choice, I'm actually going with Gambler's Dodge. So this, as long as I'm doing my dodge
so much
to
invis,
enemies, I'll be able to get my smoke grenade up more often, or my smoke bomb up. And let's go through this. And so for this one's actually solar because it's a exotic, and so exotics can roll with any of the different energy types.
Interesting.
What I'm going to do here is I'm going to spec into hand cannons again. And then I'm going to go in here and actually put some points into my intellect so that I can get my super up as well.
Yo, max intellect crucible,
Pants,
let's go!
Again.
Pants. Whatever, greaves. Whatever.
Dungarees.
They're pants.
Pantaloons.
Hunters wear pants.
Dungarees.
Yeah, so shotgun scavenger, because again, I have 2 shotguns actually, so this is going to help me pick up more ammo.
Makes sense.
Get those shells.
Exactly.
And that's a good example of showing, like, you can't equip 2 shotgun scavengers
Exactly,
in one, so it'll just say that it's already applied.
It says no.
Yep.
This does not stack. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your budget.
A little bit more hand cannon love. And then here, because I have 4 points, I'm going to actually put that into my class ability recharge. So this kind of, again, helps me with my exotic choice from earlier.
So different elements specify which mods are available. Some, yes, because there's some element-specific mods.
Pump action.
Yeah.
Okay, so pump actions for arc. Interesting. Okay.
It's also spec into getting my melee back a little bit more quickly. And then last, let's top it off with getting my super back. And so everyone else started off with their helmet for doing their appearance. I'm a hunter. We all know where I'm going.
We dress around the cape.
Exactly. So I'm going to go down to appearances in my cape. And
no cakes.
we have a bunch of different options here. But I've already done a little perusing. I think I know what I want to go with, and it's going to be this guy right here.
Yeah.
You know?
See, it matches the chest.
Yes. Exactly.
The coyote-themed build. Beautiful. Okay.
And so with this, I think I'm also going to do a little bit of shader work on it. I like the very monochrome look for the shader, so I'm just going to go nice and clean with this one. And then I actually like the look of the Solstice gear with this exotic, and so I'm actually going to keep this looking this way. But the last thing I want to do is, because Rodney didn't have the glow, I want to make him feel a little jealous. And so I'm just going to go in here, slap it on my arm so you can see it a little bit. It's not too much, right?
What is a lot? That's pretty flashy, Tomo.
I'm a hunter. This is nothing.
You can't see it too much.
That's nothing.
It only changes my profile.
Yeah. But and there you go. And so now I'm actually going to, if you look over at my stats and kind of see where I'm speccing into, I definitely have a good amount of points into, like I was saying earlier, with trying to get my melee up more often.
I want to know if all of the tier upgrades are incremental, additive, or if they scale higher at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Quite as much from the mods.
Exactly. And as the season progresses too, right now we have a bunch of the mods already unlocked for us, but there's other ways that, the artifact, for example.
Yeah, I assume so. I just want to see everything.
It'll be able to give you mods later on.
We don't really know until we see everything going from 1 to 10.
Also change season over season. So just because you saw this one,
I would assume it's just it adds or reduces a timer on it by X number of seconds. But still,
right now, we're going to have all these new mods to pick from. What does this do to the old mods?
So we're not actually going to deprecate
it by saying it was every 10. No, that's not what I mean.
You can keep using your.
I think you're misunderstanding me.
2.0 armor as well. It won't burst into flames or anything.
Okay.
I'm saying I'm curious if the reduction that you get is the same for every single tier.
I can keep that. I can keep modifying it.
Yep. I think you're going to want to eventually switch to armor 2.0, but you can transition over. But also mods dismantle into mod components.
Maybe Dinosaur.
Use to buy mods from the gunsmith. So if you want to get rid of a bunch of old mods that you're not using anymore, you'll be able to convert those into the new mods as you buy them from the gunsmith.
Nice symbiotic economy, but it still gives me options I can use for everything in my in my vault.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. Now, we have our Guardians built. We have our fire team that is perfectly articulated. You actually had a strike in mind when you were making all these decisions.
Yes.
So let's open our director and let's pick the mission that we're going to play.
Yeah, we're going to play
maybe Teawrex. I don't know. Maybe not anymore.
3 strikes. I'll go ahead and...
So go to elite mods.
Well, I
don't think you have to do it right now because I'm assuming that the ones you have get deleted into the new stuff anyways.
Lovely moments where you can call out exactly how these mods are impacting combat. Looking forward to a lot of sentient Arc Helper Buddy.
Oh, yes.
Sitting on your shoulder like a deadly parrot.
Arc Buddy is basically the greatest.
He's going to be the real MVP of this stream.
Yeah.
He's got his own line in the PGCR.
And like I mentioned, on its own, this exotic does a pretty decent job of getting grenade energy back if you're getting hits. But I put so much into grenade energy for those times when I might use it and it's not getting a lot of hits back, or I die in the middle of it.
Say 70 recommended, probably because we'll talk about it later.
Buddy is always going to be with me.
It ties into new light if that's what it said.
Titan support
which I can explain later.
Lumina, just shooting to heal.
Yeah, mostly I'm going to be focusing on getting my noble rounds up so that I've got a good store of them for when these two, or mostly Tomo.
It's going to be me.
It's going to be Tomo.
I'm the one that's asking for help all the time.
When Tomo gets into danger and is like, help, I am dying, I want to have the noble rounds to be able to throw a little healing in his way.
One of the rare instances in which my friend is going behind enemy lines, so I will shoot him in the back.
I will shoot him.
All right. Let's do this.
Are we going left or right?
Let's go. All right, Arc Buddy, get to work. Yeah.
All you got to do is walk around.
And
the bad guys went right.
See, this is nice because it works really well with the fusion rifles because I can take my time. I don't have to be hasty about, shooting. I can line up and charge up without a lot of distress. So I am, Arc Buddy's doing a lot of work, and I'm actually playing.
Isn't element-based mods just artificial grind?
And just always.
Everything is an artificial grind.
Trying to keep him up.
It's a video game.
Stealing from everyone else. I can't quite control him. He's very enthusiastic.
He's a strong,
and you can see
independent
now,
Arc Buddy.
I already have my grenade back up. keep doing that.
Arc Buddy all day.
Arc Buddy all day, seriously. Got some ammo to, I'm doing well on ammo so far. Have plenty of special because I'm not spending too much of it. I'm just using.
Arc Buddy's doing all the work.
I'm just using my guns for special occasions. Special occasions. Oh, and do we want to call out the ammo finder? So if you switch over to my it went away. I accidentally picked it up. I got too close. Oh well, we'll do it again later.
Yeah.
We'll do it again later.
It'll come up again.
Who's got left to kill?
We'll show that later, but you did indicate that when your ammo finder is working, you want to be able to call that out, give people sort of a visual cue in some new and interesting ways. So we'll find a moment to show exactly how that works soon.
Yeah, maybe I guess the ammo just looks different. It didn't look different to me, but
they were scared of Arc Buddy.
Uncertain.
Arc Buddy is terrifying. There's one. I found another one. Switch back to me. So you'll see that ammo has a special glow on it. That means that that ammo was specifically generated from my
it's the green is the glow.
So
that's what I was like.
Tell, it's actually doing something.
I was thinking it was gonna glow white or something. I see that. Yeah.
Your HUD
that's neat.
Well, so that if it happens in the middle of a fire,
so that way you know it's where it came from. That's why you know it's working. Okay.
You done did it.
You got it.
You done did it.
Yeah, the player icons are different too. Isn't showing level and stuff, which I'm still curious about.
So we talked earlier a little bit about how you're going to be able to pull your.
I almost feel like level is gone.
Yes.
We didn't really mention anything
maybe
about
the new player experience is you leveling up your subclasses versus your player level.
My team put a lot of work into,
or maybe you don't. I don't know.
My tester did a really great job of
Ryan,
making this possible. Good job, Ryan. And that is that all legendary armors in the game are going to drop as armor 2.0 from Shadowkeep on. So basically,
awesome.
Any armor drop at that point from any source that's legendary is going to be an armor 2.0 armor.
Does that include vanilla stuff too?
Sets, if you go back and do an old raid or a
planetary armor sets,
or whatever,
old raids, it's all armor 2.0 now,
right? It's
which means they're all relevant
as armor 2.0 armor.
Even if you're pulling it off a vendor, like if Anna Bray has my favorite Warlock chest piece because it looks like Tuxedo Tails, I can go back and say, hey, give me the new stuff.
Yep, we updated those with, they have fixed rolls, so you're still going to want to get a drop because the fixed rolls tend to be pretty, middle of the road-ish.
Yep.
So if you want to, you're going to want to be chasing better stat rolls that fit the kind of build that you're going to make, or higher stat rolls, honestly. So you're going to want to, still get those drops, but if you just want to grab one of the vendor pieces, it will be armor 2.0.
Awesome.
Wonderful.
So that's their way of basically giving incentive to do all of the content in the game again?
Now, or you want to wait for a more threatening experience?
We will see if we can get any combatants to show up here, and then we can go over some of the changes with this subclass.
I'll rein in Arc Buddy. For now.
That's
so
awesome.
you can show off.
Yeah.
Yeah, Armor 2.0 is a core system change, not a Shadowkeep change, which I think we already all knew that, but still.
Of sounds over here. In fact, I may have jumped.
It's interesting how
combat. I might need your help, Rodney.
Are they pinging enemies, by the way?
Oh yeah.
Out of here.
Because I'm noticing that when sometimes enemies are getting hit, they have an icon above it, and I don't know what that's from.
And then the other cool thing is if I can get myself and especially allies with the smoke to make us invisible, then it'll also increase my grenade cooldown.
Is it the Titan that's doing it?
Also,
debug option, maybe.
While Arc Buddy is out, Arc Buddy.
Oh, it could be a signal for finishers.
Yes, it is
that makes sense. That's what it could be.
Arc Buddy can't do.
It's kind of like Doom when an enemy glows for a second, and you can just go up to him and just do a random finisher, or chainsaw them.
It pretty much knows only one thing.
So it can do your taxes, but you get audited.
Yes.
Probably.
Yes, precisely.
Arc Buddy's stealing my kills.
I'm sorry. He's got a mind of his own. Literally, he's sentient.
He's very good.
Never apologize for Arc Buddy.
Oh, I won't.
We've seen mention of this in chat, but indeed, if you look at your teammates in any instance, whether you're in the tower or if you're on a strike, over their heads you can see which class they are. So if you want to make some immediate educated decisions as to how someone's
my
playing,
best guess is that it's
we're not giving you a number over
finishers.
their heads now. We're letting you know if they are Hunter, Titan, or Warlock. Just some of the different subtle UI changes that we've made. These all go live October 1st.
Yeah. All right, let's see here. Got my soup. Whoa! I did a thing where I jumped. I leapt before I looked. Everything's fine. Everything's under control.
Rodney, I also try to play as a support player, and so I'm taking a lot of notes as to how you built your Titan. But aside from Lumina, because I never touch hand cannons, what are some of the things that your build is enhancing your support player specialty?
So one of the big ones that I'm really relying on right now a lot is my ability to give overshields to my allies with melees. And I've got to basically stick with my friends and get those melee kills, but the Titan, the Defender Titan, is able to basically give himself and his allies an overshield with the melee kill, right? And so one of the things I was doing when I was building with my mods was making sure that that powered melee was up pretty often, because basically if it's already kind of a challenge to be in close proximity to your allies and also getting a melee kill at the moment when they need it. So I want to make sure that if I'm in that situation, I've got my melee up and ready to go.
Sure.
Hand cannon recoil does look pretty fine, but
a little bit about supers at a later date, and obviously certain things are best left to be discovered by players in the game, but if you want to just show off one, since you're meleeing, since you're doing the punching, if you want to just show off one finishing move as a little hors d'oeuvre.
We get permission to show off a finisher.
Do it. Do it.
Right
Do
as
it.
there's
Do
not
it.
enough
Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
Hey, you don't have to do it right now.
No, kill a teammate.
Yes, we've been
Just walk up behind like the hunter.
We're holding ourselves back for this stream.
So the seasonal artifacts are things that you'll discover in your own time. The finishing moves. I mean, if you know everything about this game when it launches on October 1st, we've done you a great disservice. So we know how much people love to wait for things, but at the same time, we want your real-time moment in the action to be full of eureka.
All right, I'm gonna be hunter and do the stupid thing that is jump into the enemy lines.
All right, do it. Yeah. Tell us a bit about that shadow shot.
Yeah, so the shadow shot actually got a buff, especially with this damage. So you're gonna, especially in PvP, but even in PvE, you're gonna feel a good amount of damage from it. And then, like I said earlier, I've definitely been going back and forth between my grenades and my melee charges to make sure that I have those up as frequently as possible.
Yeah, I want Crucible assassinations.
And I think once we go through here, I'll try to make everyone invisible.
So it looked like you probably just held the melee button when you walked up to him.
That's around the ledge.
All right.
Yeah, all right. So Ward of Dawn, I don't even really know that I need to say anything because I think people are pretty much going to figure it out as soon as I use it.
That's true.
That's
The
true.
content speaks for
Monitoring
itself.
chat.
Monitoring
It
chat.
looks like, by the way, he has 4 markers.
Let us know what you see when.
What if someone's
1,
just
2,
listening and
3.
not
It's
watching?
really hard to see because of the
That is
stream.
true.
But the super is segmented.
Lisa's always looking out for the edge case.
That's true.
Right.
That's what I do.
All right, y'all ready for this? Here
We're
we
ready.
go. We got bad guys. Boop.
All right.
And you might notice Weapons of Light back by default.
Yep. It's must-see GG, Weapons of Light. I believe that was the first instance in chat for Mixer. Let's see, over on Twitch. Overshield outside of Bubble. Chat prepared. Bubble time. Weapons of Light, baby, says Mastermind.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's really no secrets to be kept from this community.
That's true. All right.
All right.
Oh,
All right, we did it, guys.
get out of here, Silent.
So the reason why I don't think that's problematic
Make sure my arc buddy is up when I do this.
is Luke Smith specifically called out they're going to be changing the way damage stacking works.
Come on, arc buddy.
So I imagine you will not be able to run that plus well at the same time. You'll probably only have one damage buff up that'll be effective.
Pleased with your tactical
And it'll probably be the one that does more
Get him,
damage.
arc buddy. Pew, 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 pew. Pew. I don't think he. Oh, he actually got someone. Good job.
While you're driving the
While I was
Sparrow.
driving. Oh, he went away. Okay, that was fun. That was just, that was not necessary.
Arc Buddy riding shotgun.
Yeah, quite literally.
Get out of my way. But yeah, I'm very pleased with how much ammo I have for my fusion rifles. I'm not starved at all.
That's good.
I'm also, being very what's a good word? Chill.
Yeah.
This is a very chill play style. I'm just sort of hanging back. And
Very nonchalant.
every now and then I'll
party.
take a shot.
Special occasions.
A special occasion or a special.
So, which mods make your Sparrow faster?
Alas.
Alas.
Question answered.
Alas.
I think the laugh was really all I needed.
Sorry. I can't hold it.
Talking about your ammo stuff, it is worth also pointing out that in
Don't make me invisible.
this activity, you're not super starved for ammo right now.
That's true.
But In other activities, maybe something where we have famine on, it could even become important for someone who's not running double specials.
Right. Sure.
As well. So
you can anticipate really cool conversations like, what are the mods? What are the burns? Like, what are the challenges?
Interesting. So they mentioned famine specifically.
Might be a situation where, like, hey, the burn in this particular strike or activity or whatever is particularly nasty.
They're also saying burn versus
void resistance
singe
mods or whatever. Just to
so I wonder if we're gonna get back like more difficult strikes for you to worry about, like ammo.
Shifting things up as you,
I don't know, but you like never see famine ever.
Loadout, it's relatively simple to just pop in and bloop, 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 bloop. Just make adjustments since the mods are no longer consumable. There's a small glimmer cost to slotting them, but otherwise it's pretty flexible for moving around.
But there will be activities where you lock the build, yes?
That's true.
That is
so
true.
Make some very tough choices before you play one of those activities.
Yeah.
You know, that's where we want teamwork to play a big role as well, right? Like we did a little bit of pre-match coordination, but in particularly high difficulty activities, I think you're going to want to work together to make sure, hey, I'm covering this side, you cover that side.
Sure.
There are even mods, and we're not showing them off today, but there are even mods where, like, if Lisa, for example, you know, she knew she was going to be starved for ammo, but she wanted to spend her mods on something else, I might be able to actually help her with her ammo economy as well.
So you can coordinate a little nice.
Team synergy.
Interesting.
Synergy, that's the word.
And if you're a solo player, you can take a look at how your team is playing the game.
Oh, I found it.
And make adjustments. You know, the team I've been matched with is not good at something, so I'm going to overcompensate for the rest of them. All right, you have boss melting mods, so show goodness.
We just showed it.
Basically Tomo's style of jumping in recklessly, the boss resist mod is helpful for that when he goes to try and punch it out with this guy.
And when I need to, I just go invisible and make everyone else invisible too.
You know.
Are you going to let people save loadouts, or are they going to have to memorize their favorite loadouts and change them out from activity to activity?
I think this is where you're going to want to keep a couple of different pieces of armor handy. So, like, if you've got a particular loadout that you like for Crucible or whatever, you might just have a Crucible set that you're like, oh, okay, I'm going to swap this out pretty quickly. Because you can have as many mods, or the mod socket into as many pieces of armor as you want. It's pretty easy, and that's actually what I end up, I think I'm going to end up doing is basically saying, like, okay, well,
but I feel like you can, right now I have like
as my Crucible
4 or 5 armor pieces per character trying to like handle all my scavengers and stuff, so being able just to have that for a couple is nice.
But our audience does want to see a finishing move from your Titan.
Oh, all right, well, someone finish this, we'll see. Unless Arc Buddy kills
did they not see it
them.
Earlier?
Unless Arc Buddy kills. Who's on screen?
It's you, Rodney.
It's Rodney.
It's
all right.
me? Okay, well.
Arc Buddy will weaken him down.
So you'll see that little dot over the head.
Boom.
There you go.
Punch him right in the wall.
Did it. Done did it.
Okay, so the dot of their head, like, I mean, granted, it was obvious from earlier, but
you have to wait for the rest. All right.
All right, it's about that time.
It's about that time to
what
finish
time is
the strike.
Kill this boss time.
It's final boss time.
Whoa, I did the thing where I died. I died.
Don't
I'm
die.
sorry.
Fall.
Oh, no.
I fell. I fell off. I'm sorry.
Which mod gives you an emergency quadruple jump for when you find yourself floating over the cliff? Again, with the less than no laugh.
I feel like we should have a parachute mod.
Yes. Thank you for coming back for me.
parachute mod.
I am the support character.
That's
so
true. It's your job.
I came back
Thanks for
you.
doing your job.
Good job.
Ooh, I almost did
All
it
right,
again.
let's do this thing.
Never rely on applause.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
Oh, goodness. All right. Let's punch in the air. I fear you not. Oh, I almost died. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Everything will be
Arc
okay.
Buddy's here. Oh, you killed him before Arc Buddy got to shoot him. Rude.
Yeah, the actual weapon looks the same for the Acqueries, but the icon is definitely different.
Yeah.
He has hopes and dreams.
All right.
Mission complete.
For 20 seconds.
And the crowd goes wild.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yay.
What a handsome looking team.
That's right.
And well appointed to support each other and to play with each other's strengths and weaknesses. That's how it's going to go. This has just been a taste of how things are going to happen starting October 1st. Obviously, you won't have this many riches that they had to play with.
So
You're
many
going to need to play some Destiny. Going to need to go out and get some new armor pieces. We'll start you off with your Solstice set and one of your favorite exotics for each build. And from there, you'll be earning these mods pay a visit to the gunsmith. This has just been one way to build a Titan, a Warlock, and a Hunter. We can't wait for you to show us all of the other ways in which this is all going to go down. Yeah. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
For the master level thesis. Rodney, Lisa, Tomo. Playing in the development environment on test accounts. So if you're trying to send them friend invites, these are not the droids you're looking for. But we look forward to playing the game with you. Shadowkeep and New Light.
Yeah, I'm gonna touch on that exotic comment in a second.
Show note, final programming note before we go. If you are members of our PC community, we love you dearly, and we hope that you're going to be migrating with us to our new home on Steam. Here's a little news piece that we released last week, just to set your sights on the fact that next week we're going to be clicking some buttons on Bungie.net to make sure that your Guardians will be waiting for you on the new platform on October 1st when the new games begin. Thank you so much for watching, and we will talk to you again soon. We've got a lot more to say about this game before it comes out. We'll be at Gamescom, we'll be at PAX, so if we don't meet you in the wild, we'll see you in the tower.
Bye.
What? Oh, the hounds of war are loose.
Oh, it's so good. Oh gosh.